Welcome to the meeting room at Global TV Talk Show, a broadcast service of globalbusinessnews.net.
This episode from the meeting room of Global TV Talk Show is brought to you by
The Bridge School, the accredited international online private school of choice, at bridgek12.org.
Porch Light Rental and Destination Services. Reduce your renter lump sum or managed relocation costs. Visit them at porchlightrental.com.
And by airs.com. With our full range of services, we can help design and manage your international relocation. Find us at airs.com.
Primestone Partners, featuring corporate, government, and developer housing solutions, as well as senior-level advisory services. Find them at primestonepartners.com.
And by International Auto Source. We are the vehicle experts for expats, featuring all major brands of automobiles with flexible solutions and financing. On the web at intlauto.com.
Become a global player in your field.
Cross Culture to Go provides virtual support for your global business and career success.
We can help you thrive in 140 plus countries and markets.
On the web at crossculturetogo.com.
Hello, this is Ed Cohen, your broadcast host on Global TV Talk Show. This is a business unit of globalbusinessnews.net. Go check it out. We've been around since '03. Google Analytics has been tracking, and they say that since we launched Global TV Talk Show in April of 2020 through June 6, there's about 105,000 page views. And going back to '03, when we set up globalbusinessnews.net, Google Analytics has measured a little over 1.2 million page views from over 100 countries, albeit more than 70% in US, Canada, Mexico, Brazil, about 20% in Europe, 9% Asia Pacific, 1% Middle East Africa, centered mainly in South Africa, Cairo, Tel Aviv, and Dubai. So let's welcome our special guest today, Ann-Flore. Hello, welcome from Paris.
Hello. Thank you very much for inviting me. It's a pleasure talking to you today.
It's my pleasure to have you. So I see you have in the background a picture of the New York skyline, and you're in Paris. So from my view, I'd love to look at Paris more than the New York Wall Street skyline. So tell me about Helma, the new Helma. I know Ghislaine from 20 years ago. We're friendly, and Helma in the old days when I was doing my live meetings in Paris, Helma always attended and spoke whenever possible. And more recently, because of the Zoom and Global TV, we've had on our camera, we've had Pri several times, and from India and Bangalore. And just recently, we had a lovely conversation with her about cross-culture. So today I want to have you tell us more about the new Helma and about the app Smart Expatriation, and about your view, well, we'll get to this later, but your view of how things are going to be different now that companies are beginning to relocate or beginning to think about relocating people again.
Okay. Well, first of all, I'm going to introduce myself. So I've been working in international mobility for over 12 years now. Prior to international mobility, I was an HR officer. And so I specialized in international mobility because it was a passion. I used to be an expatriate in the US with my family. Yeah, I was in Chicago 20 years ago, and my daughter was born in the US. So I had such a terrific experience with my husband and children in the US that when I came back to France, I was actually teaching at the time. And then I decided to change jobs. So I changed to HR, and then from HR to international mobility. And when I started working in this business, my main focus was to make sure, that the assignees would feel that, we were doing our best to really offer good services and so on.
Yep.
But I also discovered a field that is really uh, great, because we always learn so many things in terms of all the legislation and taxation and social security and so on. So many things. Anyway, so my background. Um, from working in big companies, French big companies as an HR in international mobility manager, then I decided to Helma 3 years ago, and I first started working as a manager with Nathalie Helio, who is now the current managing director of Helma. And then I changed. Well, I changed jobs, and now I am the head of advisory practice. Well, I started this job as of January, and so I have a team of actually of experts, whether it be in labor law, taxation, social security, and so on. And I also work along with all the partners worldwide with Priam in India, as you mentioned. We also have a subsidiary in Germany, also one in China. And so we have a lot, well, most of our clients are French clients, whether they be big corporations or smaller companies, even startups sometimes. And so we help them, figure out how they can send assignees abroad, making sure that they are fully compliant. And of course, we're using Smart Expatriation. You mentioned that, our app, which is quite user-friendly, to be honest. And so we not only sell it directly to clients, but we also sometimes sell, reports, and we also customize some memos or calculations for clients that really want us to help them design packages, compensation packages, and apply either their international mobility policies, or they want us to develop the international mobility policies as well.
So the ownership has changed recently. Now Siegmiller, I'm not pronouncing that right. That's a big moving company. It's been in business a long time.
Absolutely, yes. Group Zegmüller has purchased Helma, and so we are part of this big group, which has their headquarters in Strasbourg in France, and there are 9 subsidiaries, and Helma is one of them. So yeah, we've been a very small consultancy firm, and now we are part of a much bigger group with 350 employees.
Well, very good. Well, let's talk about how you've survived the past 14 months since COVID crashed and burned a lot of us, including me. And so, what was your secret to survivability? Mental as well as financial.
Yeah, quite frankly, we've been very lucky in France because our government was very supportive, and so we were able to work part-time and receive allowances so that some of the employees were not, like I said, working full-time, which was really helpful because it was very obvious in March last year that there were a lot of projects from our clients that simply were left aside, and they could not foresee the future and they could not move forward. So I kept asking them over and over again, what do you think about sending people, or this person in particular, in China, Hong Kong, wherever they wanted? And they would say, we we don't know. We don't know what's going to happen, and it's still the case. We still have 2 clients that have assignees that are supposed to go to Japan, and the borders are still closed. So it was a big issue. And as far as we're concerned, we have some activities that recur on a monthly basis, like for example, TEO that we use abroad, which work really well. So these are activities that are good because we can rely on that financially speaking. But for all the other activities such as writing memos or calculations and so on, we really could see that this was not as good as it used to be.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, so what's happening now? And here we are, it's June, which is the peak season, really. And is it different from May?
From May to June, it's actually much more hopeful here in Paris because the restaurants have reopened and we are going out, and the cafes have also reopened, and the museums also, and we can go to the movies, which was not the case for such a long time now. So yeah, things have really changed lately, and it was high time because we were feeling really bored in Paris, and this was very difficult even for employees. I felt that with my team, and we worked from home 100% of the time, which was not as nice and friendly. And now we are back at the office and we can go out and have lunch together, which is really nice.
So that's like a rebirth.
Absolutely. Yeah. Rebirth. Yeah.
We interrupt this broadcast to bring you a timely announcement.
Hi, I'm Sergei Gorbatov.
I'm Angela Lane.
Together we are researchers, writers and practitioners in the field of human resources.
And we've also been multi-country, multi-assignment career expats.
We owe our professional development and growth to a very large extent to the international assignment opportunities that we have had.
But in a world where distributed work may become the norm, we also want to understand what will happen to the nature, duration, and purpose of international assignments.
Together with our colleague, Julian Dalzell from the University of South Carolina, we're undertaking a study on the future of expatriation.
And we'd value your contribution. You can participate in this important study by completing a simple 10-minute questionnaire.
Access the questionnaire by typing in your browser tinyurl.com/expert study. That's tinyurl.com/expert study. You can also find the link here on Ed's website next to this video.
Thank you for joining us in this study. In return for your contribution, we'll provide you with a copy of our research.
And of course, you'll be invited to an exclusive webinar hosted by Ed, where we will share our findings right here on Global Business News.
And so please go to tinyurl.com/expat study. Take the survey so that we can better understand the future of expatriation.
Something that's really neat is that the Bridge School partners with various organizations to provide learning for their students. For example, we partner with a major ballet company, and we are able to enroll several of their students into our school. So now not only is the student able to participate in a school and have a seamless transition while they're very active in their ballet career, but now they have other dancers that are with them that are doing some of the same courses. So it's almost becoming a camaraderie where they're taking similar courses, they're working together on their ballet, and really being able to form this great partnership with these organizations to provide a needed service. A lot of times there are student athletes who will spend hours and hours at the gym or at the basketball courts, wherever it is. And if they're attending a traditional school, they're in school from 8 to 3. They get a quick snack, and then they're at the gym for 3 to 4 hours in the evening. Coming to us and having that partnership, they're able to break that up throughout the day. They can have a morning practice, get some schooling in, have an afternoon practice, finish their schooling in the evening. So there's that flexibility. And additionally, if there are tournaments or performances, it's fantastic because if there's a week where they have shows straight through, they can take that week off of learning and then pick back up when they're done. So it offers this great flexibility. And for the program owners of these sports leagues, it is a win-win situation for them because they see this need. They see this need that their students need to make sure that they are obtaining the grades necessary to be successful adults in our country and in other countries. But it provides them an environment where they can be successful at both.
And so what's in the client companies, the corporate employers, don't give me any secrets or name names, I don't need that. But just in general, could you describe the business scene? Are companies welcoming their people back in, or are they doing 5 at a time or 10 at a time, or how is it being done in what you know about in La Défense and other places?
Well, for example, we have a lot of Indian companies, Indian clients, but they still cannot send Indian people to France at this point, which is really hard for our immigration department because, like I said, most of their clients are from India, so it's still very tricky for them. As far as the European Union is concerned, it's okay. We have people that can, work in other countries within the European Union. So it's fine, but things are getting better and better. But it's still not the year 2019 in comparison. It's night and day. It's more not as good.
Yeah, okay. So I've asked Paul to post a couple of pages that I saw on your website and your LinkedIn. Paul, if you could just begin that process and we could discuss it. So here's your LinkedIn page, of course. And for our English-speaking people, would you pronounce Journée Virtuelle de la Mobilité? Do it a lot better than me, please. And describe what it means.
Okay, well, I put this picture in the background. It's Journée virtuelle de la mobilité internationale. It's because tomorrow there's going to be this big event with Cercle Magellan. And I'm actually a graduate from Cercle Magellan. I've graduated with an MBA 10 years ago with them. And they are a sort of professional network of international mobility professionals, and they are organizing a big event tomorrow in which we will participate. Nathalie Elio, me, and my colleague Anna Gourmelon, the head of the relocation department, as well as Desara Koba, who is also the head of our immigration department. And so we are going to give presentations. I'm going to be talking about virtual assignments, and Nathalie Elio will be talking about smart expatriation. And so that was the reason why we wanted to put that on the LinkedIn
well, that's great.
page.
Well, I remember when we produced meetings in Paris over the years, and the most recent one was in 19. And then everything stopped, of course. But people from that group, Cercle Magellan, have attended or even participated as leaders. So that's really nice, and congratulations on that. Okay, so Paul, the next page on one of the links, yeah, the website.
This is a map on which you can see all the various places where we are present, not only with the Helma, but also our global mobility providers, because we work with a lot of other companies that are specialized in, taxation and labor law and so on. Okay, well, this um, this circle presents all the various departments and all the services that we provide to our clients, and the advisory team starts in the first place. Whenever there is a request from our client, from a new client or one of our clients, we usually start with the advisory team, because we need to discuss the project in terms of compliance. This is very important. So fiscalité internationale, that's taxation, protection sociale, healthcare coverage, compensation, and also audits. And we help our clients also write their own policies, international mobility policies. And audits, I've been working for a client lately with my team on an audit, because they were a private company but working for the state. So it was a sort of in-between situation in which they were not quite sure that they were fully compliant on everything. So we can write reports on the situation of expats around the world, and then usually with when we have the client, we move on to the immigration phase, and also all the paperwork, and so that the person can come to France, for example. And the relocation department also gets involved, and we have the coordination of the removal as well, which is in India, with my colleague Priyam also, and Elisa Ketty, and all the team there. Tenancy management, this is also something that we provide. And we have a department devoted to all the IT tools, not only smart expatriation, but we also have My Mobile Village, which is a tracker. And we will have another tool that is currently being developed in order to track all the assignments for our clients.
Well,
and we
thank
do
you.
also payroll, yes, and all sorts of things.
Yeah, okay. Well, this is really easy to follow, and I love seeing it in French. It adds more texture, depth, and scope to global TV talk shows. So thank you very much. So now your
Very welcome.
position as head of advisory, so that means client face to face, right?
Exactly, yes, client face to face. Yeah. And what's very interesting in my job is that we have a very wide range of clients. We can have huge corporations, one of the what we call in French CAC 40, which is CAC 40, meaning the largest corporations in France. And we also have very small clients, and we always need to customize what we're the way we deal with our clients, our services, and also our understanding of their processes, because some of them, they're really well organized and they're very proficient in everything they do, so we need to adjust that to their skills. And some others, they have no idea what international mobility means. For example, there was this new client, for example, it was the first time that they sent someone to Hong Kong, and they had no idea what to do. And so it's very nice, because I'm starting the day with a big knowledgeable client, and then someone that I need to really support and assist and explain everything.
Well, it's so your teaching background is still valuable.
Yeah,
For
definitely.
sure. Yeah. So
Yeah,
now how
I like doing that.
yeah, so how are you dealing with inbound to the US?
Oh, inbound to the US. Yeah, we have well, partners in the US, especially regarding the immigration, which is so tricky in the US. You're
Yeah.
never knowledgeable enough in immigration procedures, and it is a very time consuming process. Also, it can take like several months to obtain the proper visa. And so we work along with a partner that is quite good, and also they also provide advice in terms of labor law and so on. So yeah, and we have also another provider specialized in payroll services also. So yeah, we like working with the US. Mm.
Well, this has really been a good story, and and I thank you very much. So, in France, well, let me just say, in the U.S., the idea of stakeholders, you have when you think of a corporation, and that let's just imagine there's a flat organization chart, and over here is the mobility manager, and then over here is the CFO, and over here is the recruiter, talent acquisition, and over here is comp and ben, rewards, and then over there somewhere is tax and legal. And these are our stakeholders, and everybody gets involved in this process. So to what extent is Helma involved in the talent acquisition role as an advisor at the table at the time of the negotiations to acquire talent?
Wow, that's a very good question. I don't think that we really play a role at that stage, to be honest with you, because
Not
I
yet.
think it's more
Yeah.
that it's more
Yeah.
the technical issues that are at stake, and if we manage, for example, to offer a great solution, then the talent will definitely say, okay, yeah, I'll get the job and I'll go there. And so we have to make sure that the company offers the appropriate package, that with all the incentives and all the measures, housing allowance, that are appropriate in order for the company to acquire the talent. That's how we work, in the background. So we're not exactly part of the sourcing process, but we support our client, and we like doing that, because I always like providing advice, for example, when comparing the home company approach in calculating the compensation or host company approach. And sometimes there's a sort of mixture of both approaches that might be the solution. So we need to discuss that with our clients.
Well, I wanted to get your view on this because in the US, that is a hot button right now, uh,
Really?
of transformation. All right. As the companies open up, as businesses, I don't think they'll get back to 19 anything. It's all going to be new. And
Mm,
so, people, like, we all have to unlearn and then
right.
relearn,
Mm,
and then go forward. And, so how all this is done is the key thing. And it's all driven by the C-suite, by the bosses, if they perceive the value add that the relocation function professional people like yourself and Helma, can provide to the talent acquisition,
mm,
because the relocation is actually a benefit and gives that new recruit, that newly acquired talent,
mm,
uh, not only the hope of global business travel, or expatriation, but also it just adds to the depth and the value of that job offer.
absolutely. Yes, I perfectly agree. And also sometimes people don't know if they should say yes or no to an offer, because they are worried about the taxation that they will get out of their package. If you have a higher level of taxation, does not represent the same net amount in your pocket. So, all those things have to be taken into account. And, it's always nice, I think, to be able to, to assist people with technical knowledge, because that at the end of the day, what you do is enable people to have an experience abroad or say yes to a job offer. So that's what motivates us.
Well, Ann-Flore, thank you for being our special guest today on Global TV Talk Show. And please come back again once things get rolling. And we welcome your voice on Global TV. Thank you.
Thank you so much. It was a pleasure. Thank you, Ed. Bye-bye.
Yeah, bonsoir. Au revoir.
Bonsoir. Au revoir.
So, bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Thank you for joining us in the meeting room at Global TV Talk Show.
Have a wonderful day, and stay safe.